Hey everyone, another amazing day. By remaining human or thinking you're only human, it doesn't change anything. You just stay in the same old, same old. So, having said that again, own your divinity, step up into your power. The time is always now to do it, to make the great changes. So, we're seeing globally, more and more people are standing in their powers and not accepting, for the most part, the wealth disparity and the hardships that are caused directly because of what the ones that used to, that were puppets of the ones that created and controlled the money. This is no longer acceptable. It's outdated. It's primitive. And, we are the ones that are here to change this. You haven't been showing the truth and all of the truth coming out, um, you know, in your news feeds and what have you. There is a reason for it. And the reason is that the darkness and the old power moguls, the oligarchs, all of this, they have lost. And you are given all of this information on the rabbit hole. There is a divine reason for it and a divine purpose. And having said this, none of you watching this can killed nor taken out of the game by any remnants of darkness that is here. You stand in your full power, your full truth. You have no fear. Like many more, I also, in the past, and many of you don't know the whole story on that because it is very extensive. But just to go a little bit into it, I was what you would call a Canadian citizen. And just to get right to the point, part before I awakened and was told who I was and come to know who I am, part of that path was getting into the deepest depths of the banks, the financial, the systems, the government, the judicial system, you name it, and seeing that it was all rigged. And also seeing the actual Jesuit from the Vatican that showed up, in the last hours. And this occurs when the darkness, through their attempts at instilling fear in you and, trying to scare you, when out of their fear, the darkness in the end, when there is no resort left for them at one last attempt, they'll put the Jesuit fastened in front of you. And still, they have no power over us and over I. And, this is why I'm still here, mouthing off, if you will, because it's divinely ascertained for I to do this and all of you. We're here to change the planet, to change the timelines. We are here to free humanity from the ridiculous monetary debt system and everything else connected to that. And there is no compromise to that. We do this, we do that, we liberate humanity. And the interdimensional beings, the galactics, aspects of ourself, and we have the big guy, the head honcho, Mother, Father God, right on our shoulder. So there you go. So everything is ascertained. Again, get rid of any doubt you have. Focus on your own power. Trust your own power and all that you are. We are many. We are all together. We are part of something unprecedented and very huge upon the surface at this time. And again, nothing stops it. It is imminent, as well as with, prosperity packages and RV and all of these sort of additional steps to very rapidly get there. And again, nothing stops it. And when the Father says something, I believe it. And I suggest for all of you to believe and trust fully in your hearts and your messages that you also receive. And do not be tricked by anything lesser. And also, this is very important for the levels that many of you are at. Do not forgive the governments or the rich ones for what they have done. If you get into something that was intentionally done toward you to suppress and disempower you, when you forgive that, when you forgive them, you actually accept that what they did to you was okay. You keep the energetic thread there that they continue to do it. Now, it's important you can do that process and to forgive others that may have done things toward you that was nothing as intense and as grave as what done to you. These other ones, your family members, or what have you, yes, forgive them, for you now know the reason why you had that experience with them. However, our given, that is a different thing. And it's very important not to forgive any of that and stand in your truth and in your divine ability and say, no, it's not accepted. Because if you forgive that, then you're accepting it and you're condoning it for them to continue doing this. So it's very important with a very quick, energetic flip by each one of you to no longer accept that. That also has an amazing, great effect on the timelines, and it also creates a great shift. Now, again, we are here for a reason. We are here for an important mission. It's already ascertained. We're doing it. Your confirmations are abounding. So, again, I guess you could say this is a pep talk, an incentive to keep going forward. And yes, it is, because we already made it. We already did it. And we're not going to, let's say, sit here on our bums, if you will, and not do anything. You've been given great divine power and ability in conjunction with this mission to assure that it comes to rapid fruition. So we're not going to be complacent and sit around. Your fellow divine comrades, as well as those that are not awakened, you see it globally. Protests growing, people standing up. It does not matter if these people are awakened to the degrees that you are, but it is a very important indicator and confirmation that yes, you are affecting others and that they are ready to transition and they are standing up. So again, we are doing it, and very quickly, and we don't accept anything less than wealth equality in this now. Anything else, and no one is better than anyone else. A lawyer or a bank CEO getting $5 million a year while you're scratching around for a couple coins. No, that's no longer acceptable. None of it. And this is things that are going to change because no human is better than any other human. There is no queen, there is no president that is better than you. There is only equality. And when all of us step into that together, that makes the great change as well. Don't give up your power to anyone. Do not have any bit of fear. You are much more than just a human and the human experience. All of you have been prepared for this most important time, and you are fully supported by the leagues of heaven and the divine energy. And if you don't believe me, you go out and stand in your truth and you watch how events in your reality quickly change to very favorable, and also to give you a confirmation back of your own power. Test your power, use it constantly. Watch the results you get. Then you don't need me telling you what you can do. You get your own confirmations, then you know that it's true. Don't back down from anything. Stand up fully. With this, I wish to say, I know this to be true. However, I am coming across more and more, we could almost say on a daily basis, that know that they do not die, that against all odds, we are kept here. And all of us are for very important reasons. None of you can be taken out of the game, if you will. And stand your ground fully, please. And stand with us all together. Now, coming up here for 12/12, very, very significant. So great changes are going to come. What I'm given by other, I was given last maybe Friday or what have you, is that there are big things occurring this week that I was going to schedule a gathering here in Croatia for last Sunday, but Father said, hold off. There's going to be things happening, occurring this week that I can speak about, or all of us can speak about at this Croatia gathering. So it's very important. I'm not giving detail what it is. It is globally, of course. As you know, we are we play a part in the big picture. You are no longer a citizen of one country, if you will. No, we are throughout all space and time, and nothing restricts us as well. So again, stand in your power and don't back down, and stand together as well as what everyone is doing. Now, from time to time, I do see some manipulation and distortion attempts by remnants of the darkness, but even also at times from light ones that are just beginning to come in their power when they have doubt and fear within. And sometimes they'll tend to put things out there from their perspective, which is great. They're at that level. But let me say that truths change constantly, attached to the level of perspective and perception. And it's also attached to one's timeline. And once one eradicates fear and doubt to certain degrees, they rise up into a different reality, a different timeline. And so, no one is condemned by having a certain truth at a certain level. This is also why no one should be judged at any level of where they're at. They actually judge themselves if they're not awakened. And it's perfectly okay to say that, this one is not awakened. You're not judging them. The judgment has already been made. So that does not affect you. However, it is very important to not degrade another unless they are dark, because you're able to deal with the darkness because they have already judged to you what they are. acceptable to you. So during a degrading process towards the dark, you are actually exercising your power and putting the dark in different ways that you can look at this. But always trust your own guidance and only take what resonates with you at the moment. That is your guidance. But what I can give you is that it can change. And that's why I say truths change as well, because there are different levels to dimensions, realities, and different levels of awakening in your consciousness. So it's always best to perhaps know that and observe things neutrally, and make, if you're drawing, don't draw exact conclusions on anything. It can restrict you. So you can say you're making a tentative conclusion that's open to evolve, if you will. You don't wish to restrict anything that you may be feeling or receiving, because we are forever evolving in what's occurring in this ascension in all ways: your physical vessel, your energetic field, your reality, your timelines. So everything is in constant evolution at this time, and it's for very magical things are upcoming. And again, with this, take care of your bodies. It's very important you do not tap water, any water that has chlorine in it. Water, it does in the past disempower you. And yes, once we reach levels, we can bless things. However, you are exerting energy when you do that. And we're not all the way there yet with increasing our powers. So you don't want to be exerting energy by not eating proper foods to the degree that it's not chemically laden, and you wish to be drinking good water. And that is important to these organic vessels here, to keep them in optimal energetic shape as well. For if you're taking in eating processed foods with chemicals, it's taken a certain amount of energy to rid these organic vessels of them. And that energy can be better used at empowering you. So you organic vessel to keep it to the best of your ability. And that is a factual thing. It's not illusion. And many can also attest to this very quickly by changing your diets and doing things differently. You can see how you feel so good with it in the least. And then you can see even more occurring in lines with your power. So just glanced at a linear clock. It's about 5 to 3 here. Divine Brother will be here shortly, so I will not stay on here. So yes. So, and keep loving everyone. Keep connected to ones that you can, and keep making connections. It doesn't mean to sit on Facebook 24 hours a day or whatever. Get connected. Again, get out in the field once you got so much of your divine work done, what your inner guidance dictated. Get out there in the field too. It's a lot of energy going on out there, and you can practice your gifts and things. So don't, what I suggest, don't be on online all the time unless you're divinely, very strongly guided to be on there. I am days. However, it's part of my divine work to do so. But please believe me when I say, if I did have a choice, I would not be online. I'd be out just didn't have an important divine role to play here. So having said that, for those of you that need to be online, that are doing amazing jobs at spreading the awareness and all of this, and thank you so much for that, and it's so important. However, for those of you that, your guidance may be to get out in reality, making change there, that's perfect as well. We do all adds to the whole, and there's many divine tasks with this. There's some that's out there to be direct, others that are able to do direct energy work, and everything is so important. It just the same as one that may be just in the space to hold a important, but also what's important is to go with your guidance and trust that intuition to the fullest. That is your guidance mechanism, not restricted by more than your conscious brain, and it's tied to your heart. So it's best to always follow that no matter what. So great. So let's go on, and we'll be changing there in good ways, of course. Also with the Vatican, what I referred from, let's getting into the catacombs in the Vatican, and that will soon come out. And let's just say the old Popey, he knows what's going on, that his days are at an end. And any of you from Italy that are watching this and of the light, if you're a guide, may be a good idea to follow your guides. There has been one warning. More recently, there's been a lot more warnings sent to the Pope, and one of those warnings was with Venice, and also a small quake just in the Florence area north of Rome. Now, these are divine warnings for the Pope and for the whole Vatican and all of that representation of darkness that was there. So divinity means business. We do, and we do get it done. And there is a lot more that I don't say at times, and there are reasons for that. It's only to be released to the collective incrementally as we keep advancing upward, then more of the truth is revealed. How responsible to activate more of that truth to come into the collective. So there is never one reason for anything that occurs. There's always several. We're dealing with multiple timelines. We're dealing with multiple phases of existence, like singularity, duality, triality. Some of you are now existing in at least 3 different states of being. You're on different timelines. You are also in different dimensions. So there are so many things that are happening, and with each timeline, with each dimension, with each state of your being, truths are different, as you know this. So it's you excel much quicker by just remaining in as much of a neutral state as you can, if trying to discern, okay, what's going on, what are you to do? So just a couple simple tips. Oh, okay. Okay, good. It looks like it may be gone. So time to go. Love you. All kinds of peace. And that's yeah, over here. That's a kiss from the big guy, the big guy, big girl, mother, father, God. And so I love you all, and great things occurring always. Have a great day, and see you in the futures. Thank you. Bye now.